Alright guys, here we're going to talk about Season 3, Episode 14 of The Twilight Zone.
So the minute it started, I wrote in all caps, "It's the one where they're all dolls in the trash."
Yep.
And then I didn't write anything else until, oh, it's actually like a doll drive bin for orphans. I hated this as a kid. I kind of appreciate the acting, I guess. That's it. I have no notes whatsoever about the plot.
I don't like this episode.
Or
this is another one where you remember it from the moment it starts. You're like, oh, it's that episode.
You're like, it's Kick the Can!
Yeah.
And then you watch, you're like, wow, there's a lot more happening here. It's like, I don't want to watch all this.
No, not a big fan of this episode. And like I put myself in that position, like, all right, so let's just see how troubling would this be? What would you do in this thing?
Oh, yeah.
And they all get on each other's shoulders, and they don't even do it in like size order of like who's the biggest, who's the strongest, what makes the most sense. So like that alone is weird, and it's clearly just like them laying on the ground, and they shot it like that because you know, how could you?
And like acting very inconsistently, one person doing a good job of like shaking and going like, oh, this is heavy, and one guy just like standing there like, well, I'm in the middle. Yeah, I know. It's very funny.
Picture like 4 or 5 people deep, straight up.
Yeah.
If you teetered remotely away from the wall, the whole thing falls just out of how life works.
Yeah.
Yes. And there was no cautiousness whatsoever in much of their attempts.
Yeah.
And then let's flip forward. So the girl eventually falls, and the doll toy girl like sprains her ankle or whatever and can't be on the top anymore. So they switch. The soldier boy goes on the top, and his plan is he's going to throw a series of their clothing attached to the hilt of a sword that will catch like a grappling hook.
Yeah.
Or it'll fly down at you like a fucking sword.
Yeah.
The way he caught that, it catches on like this much, and like no part of that was I like, all right, he's got this. I was like waiting for the he's gonna die. Oh, he's gonna die.
I didn't like how he fell off the rim. He just kind of like was sitting there and went, ah! And like jumped off or whatever, which I know is like a thing, but like still, it's like, oh.
No, it's terrible.
No, and to your point, like a lot of the Twilight Zone things are cool because you picture yourself, or you picture like, oh yeah, the darkness of human reality faced with these odds or whatever. This is just like, do I think I'm gonna wake up one morning in a big trash can? But I'll be a doll though.
Not.
I don't think so. At the rate I'm going, hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. The inconsistency of things they heard, like the bell is out there constantly ringing. They hear the bell every now and again. Yeah. You don't hear like people talking or like when you're looking up, they only see what looks like the moon or maybe it's a light from a...
Yeah. They made it look like it was like they're trapped in a well or something, but like an alien well. The whole time, because I remembered it, so it like ruins it. I tried to picture like, what if I didn't know what this was? Well, what would I think it was? And I... No idea.
No, I think you would know that, like just from the feel of something, I'd be like, all right, all right, there's a seam running down the middle. Oh my God, I'm in a trash can. Like,
it feels like a weird, contrived thing too. Like it's not something like, because even stuff that's weird, you can be like, well, what is this trying to say? Like, oh, at the end, oh, they were never on Earth. Oh, so maybe aliens are like us, including the bad parts. Wow. But here it's like, what is this saying? Oh, maybe dolls are alive and it's bad for them. What is that? What am I supposed to do with this information, right? It was very much like, I have no angle. And again, that's why I zeroed in on like the main, army dude's like performance and like the scenery chewing clown guy and stuff. And I was like, okay, these people are doing okay. And that's like all there is to latch onto. That was not.
No, as a kid, I can even I think remember like the first time watching this and being like, what? Like I was not like. Like, whenever I picture the Twilight Zone, I picture a child laying on their stomach with their feet in the air doing this thing, like watching the Twilight Zone for the first time. And they're like, oh, it's 1960. This is the best. Gee whiz. Oh, my God. Oh, they were toys the whole time. They were toys the whole time.
He has giant fake freckles and a gun with a
I can't even picture enjoying the end of this episode. Like then.
No. And honestly, like tone-wise, right? Like speaking of kids and stuff, like you'd watch a thing, like, am I gonna be able to talk to Grandma through a fake phone when she dies? Like the show. The show gets dark. The show gets crazy. The show explores like horrible things. And this one, literally, that one sentence, "They were dolls in the trash the whole time," is like that's the like. No. This is a short story that somebody was like, "Ooh, that has like a twist. Ship it. Let's go."
And I just picture those toys. Who wants a tramp toy?
That's a weird choice too.
It was like, let me get a homeless guy.
That would make you not guess it, I think. The fact that, like, what? There's no hobo toys. Maybe back in this day there were.
The soldier toy, who is like going da-da-da-da with like a general. Like, you wanted like...
You have to have a general of the whole. You have to have a bunch of soldiers. You have to collect the whole thing. You have to paint them, right? Otherwise...
It was a strange, like, couple of choices
here. They're having Tyranids or something. You have to paint so many, right? This is just like one general.
I'm like, okay, people had clown toys. I could see a ballerina toy.
Barbie, whatever, yeah.
But the tramp...
The tramp and the... Was it a bagpiper?
Bagpiper, yeah.
I'm obviously having a stroke because I'm thinking that there was a bagpiper in this episode.
Least likely. Because a homeless guy could be like, I'm going on a homeless trip, gonna jump in the boxcars, whatever was popular at the time. But
you know what kids are into.
But a bagpiper? Like, what are you making it with a noise with your mouth as you dance?
And he's like walking. Yeah, you have to collect the whole band though.
Yeah.
Do your Civil War thing.
Yeah, not the strongest episode because the twist isn't really a twist. It's the only thing it's needed to make any sense at all. Like other ones, it's a full-fledged little saga that then it's like, oh, a twist, and you're like, oh, cool. This one was like, well, what is this? And then it's like, oh, that's what it was. Okay.
No, and we have the rough 3 pillars or whatever. For some of these shows, you're like, okay, well, everything's horrible, but the twist was so good, or well, the twist is lame, but the angles and the shots and this is above and beyond. And did they have twins? How'd they film that? That's crazy, right? But this one,
no, there was nothing crazy.
There's no angle to come at where you go oh, this was actually good for some reason.
And
right?
the garbage can seemed to be of inconsistent height because it was a practical set they had to build for certain parts of it. So I don't know, across the board, I wasn't crazy. The acting wasn't bad, but I didn't like the dialogue. Sometimes you're like, oh man, that was so meaty, or what the hell was that?
The writing was not good.
If you look across the board, I didn't really feel like it hit it on any of those marks that I would usually latch onto and say how awesome the Twilight Zone is. Now this one, I would like to say it's forgettable, but it's not because it's stuck in your memory.
I was just gonna say I would love to just forget about this, but I didn't forget about it the first time. There are much better episodes that once we got through the whole episode, I realized I must have seen this before because I remembered a part at the end or whatever. And I somehow forgot that we're so much better than this episode. So something about this makes you remember it.
It's so simple that it's memorable.
I think it's another strike against it. Where now this is occupying space in my head against my will.
Because it's not like a thriller where you're like, oh man, I remember the ending, but I can't remember how they got there. There's no steps to forget.
Exactly.
They're toys are in a trash can thing.
Yeah,
that's the whole plot. It's the whole.
You're
plot.
I remember the plane wasn't there, but is the guy crazy, or is the plane, or is there something going on with time travel? You can think of that, right? But there's nothing. There's there are toys in the trash.
That's all.
And that's the ending.
Let me use the elevator pitch. Toys
in the trash.
In the trash.
They don't know it though.
They don't know they're toys.
They find out.
It's like the mannequins, only they're toys, and they don't know.
Right.
What? Shut up.
It is like the mannequins. That's so
horrible.
A
lot of episodes of Twilight Zone are just little twists on other episodes.
Yeah.
And that makes sense, because that's what all TV is.
Yeah, what if things that were real were not real and whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah, but so that's kind of it on this episode. There's really not much to talk about.
Thumbs down. Put it in the bin with the dolls for the orphans. Ship that stuff to the landfill.
All right, guys, that's this episode of Twilight Zone. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.